David Lago. Now, I remember the Emmys sitting in my chair. First of all, I'm not a big award show kind of fan anyway, because usually they're very boring. And you definitely livened it up. Now, I remember going to parties afterwards. Everybody was talking about your speech. Some people, you know, thought it was interesting. You livened it up. Other people were a little angry with you.
Yeah, explain it.
Yeah, please explain it.
All right. First and foremost, I didn't mean anything bad by it. I love the people on Young and the Restless. They've been good to me. I'm grateful for it. And they know me well enough to know that I didn't mean anything bad by it. Okay, now that that's said, I'm a huge Christopher Walken fan. I always used to walk around impersonating him. And a couple years ago, Catch Me If You Can came out, and he gives that speech for, yeah, it was a great movie, and he gives that acceptance speech at the beginning, and I was like, oh, how funny would it be to go up there and just do that? So I said I was going to do it. I kept losing, and then finally...
Previous years,
previous
you were nominated, right?
Yeah, I was losing, but with every year, all my friends were like, you better do it, you better do it,
right.
You gotta do it. So this year came around, and I had been off the show already for a couple months. So ironically, the speech, what I say, it just made more sense this year, but it could also be taken like, oh, that was kind of a back. He didn't even thank anybody, and this and this. It had nothing to do with that. I was just doing it.
Well, you know, we know you from being on the show before, and I've seen you at events, and you are such a nice guy, number one. I want to put that out there first and foremost. So that's why I think it surprised people, because I think people that didn't know you, you know, it's so out of character. People that didn't know you and didn't know where you were coming from, I think thought it was you directing your anger at Young and the Restless for letting you go.
Yeah. Well, so, I mean, if that was the case, so.
You're not allowed to do that.
That's what I have to say about it. So what? They let an Emmy award-winning actor go. Hello?
Two little mice fell in a bucket of cream. The first mouse quickly gave up and drowned. Now, the second mouse wouldn't quit. He struggled so hard that eventually he turned the cream into butter and crawled out. Ladies, gentlemen, Mom, Dad, as of this moment, I am that second mouse.
I think that's great! That's awesome! Awesome! Good for you. You got that.
You know what? I gotta tell you though, I watched it. You know what? I was riveted to it. It was that and David Canary with Oscar the Grouch. They were the two best moments of the whole night for me. That was it. That's all we all talked about. Now, the next day, The View starts talking about you. There was a little bit of a backlash.
Yeah, I got home.
Ladies on The View.
I got home that weekend from New York, and my friends were like, hey, are you okay? I'm like, yeah, why? What happened? Well, they're like, well, you didn't hear about The View? I'm like, no. He's like, well, the lovely young ladies on The View, we're talking really bad about you. And,
well, at least they were talking about you.
Yeah, but I guess some guy went on there and was saying he was doing all the recaps from
the Emmy night.
From the Emmys, and they showed me up there, and he what did he say? Something about like, oh, there's nothing worse than a soap actor going up there and doing a bad Christopher Walken impersonation, and
you know what? I disagree. That was a pretty good Christopher Walken.
Thanks. And then I guess, so the ladies on The View started in on it as well. Oh, yeah, that's why, kids. Stay off the drugs, no alcohol, and this and that. I wasn't even drunk yet. And Howard Stern heard about it, and he played it on the radio.
Again, another person talking about you who's very, very big and famous. Hello.
He loved it.
All right.
But he loved it, and he was on my side about it, so I called the show to thank him for it. And in turn, they called me and put me on the show, and I talked to him for about 20 minutes.
Again, thank you very much for your Christopher Walken speech. Hello.
So you were on, you talked to him about it on air?
Yeah, I talked to him about it on air, and then he tried to get some information out of me. But you know where he tries to take conversation.
Of course, that's why we're always scared to go do his show, because
everybody.
God knows where he's going to take it.
I took my time with the questions, and I kind of went around it as best as I could. And then he made me do a Christopher Walken impersonation and pretend like he was talking to Chris, and then he started kind of trashing the ladies on The View.
You did?
Not as worse than I was going to. Yeah, I just kind of snuck it in a little bit when I could, but I don't want to battle with Barbara Walters and Star Jones.
No, not necessarily.
I'll lose.
And you know what? Unfortunately, taking it out of context, I'm sure that a bad impression can be taken from that.
What upset me about it is that they immediately went for the easy joke. Oh, he's drunk, he's on drugs. I was like, no, we're in the entertainment business. Let's entertain, what the hell?
Yeah.
He took a risk.
And it was entertaining.
Yeah.
You took a risk.
Let me ask you this. If you had the opportunity to go back to that night and walk up to that podium one more time, would you still do the same thing?
I'd do the exact same thing.
Yay! Boy, look at all the press it got you. I mean, come on. Please, that's what it's all about.
It was fun. It was
Of course
scary.
it was.
I was more worried, like, what if I had committed, all right, I'm going to do it, and then, like, in the middle of the speech, forget half of it or start messing it up?
Or get all wishy-washy.
Yeah.
And
I
then...
would have killed myself.
Exactly.
Well, you went for it. You can definitely tell you went for it the whole way.
Oh, I thought it was great.
Well, David,
Yeah.
will you do us a favor as we go out to commercial? First of all, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Nice
You
to
tell
see
our
you.
audience to stick around. We'll be right back, Christopher Walken style.
Stick around. We're going to have fun. It'll be good.
It's time for the Soap Talk Trivia question. Which female soap